Throughout my career, I've been attempting, and sometimes successfully, to get managers to improve their investment performance. I've been struck by their oftentimes reluctance to make changes that I've clearly demonstrated would improve investment performance going forward. And I wanted to introduce this topic in a really simplistic way, and I kept getting simpler and simpler and simpler. And I came to this. This is a mistake that I've seen throughout my entire career, and I've seen it made by extremely experienced investment professionals. So I'm going to put this in super simple terms. What I want you to do, I want you to pick between two stocks. You have a two-stock universe, okay? Right now, stock ABC and stock XYZ, they have the same revenues and earnings. However, we know with certainty in this admittedly contrived example, we know that stock ABC, it has revenues that are going to fall and earnings that are going to fall by 10% each year. And at the end of 10 years, the company is just going to cease to exist. We also know that its product offerings are universally considered subpar. That's stock ABC. Now we have stock XYZ. For this one, we know with absolute certainty that its earnings will rise by 10% each year. At the end of 10 years, it's going to revert to the risk-free rate and grow at that rate forever, right? We know this because we can't have a company can't grow by 10% every year forever. At some point, it will become the entire world economy, right? So we also know that its products are considered some of the best products ever made, okay? So if you need to pause it, go ahead and pause it. But what I want you to tell me is you have to pick one of these stocks for your stock portfolio. Which one are you going to pick? All right, so here's something I've seen, again, over and over again, even from really experienced professionals. I had a super senior investment professional get pitched a stock idea from one of his analysts. And this is a guy who, I'm telling you, has made tens of millions of dollars in this business. And his analyst wanted to add Skechers to the portfolio. And the manager said, I'm not adding Skechers to our portfolio. They have crappy shoes. I don't want it. Other times you'll hear, God, that's a great company. I got to buy some of it. Or you'll hear something like, I wouldn't touch that company with a 6-foot pole. And I know it's supposed to be 10-foot pole, but hopefully you understand why I picked 6 foot given what's going on right now. But you hear these things over and over again. They're talking about the quality of the company, the quality of their product, or the unattractiveness of the company. But the thing is, that has nothing to do with your job. What your job is to pick a good investment. And when you pick a good investment, you are saying the market is wrong. The market has overvalued this company. The market has undervalued this company. The market's expectations in terms of their product offerings, their growth, or whatever is wrong. Okay? It's all about the intrinsic value, what the company's really worth versus what you have to pay for it today. Now, I know there are situations where you could have a company that has a market value of X and an intrinsic value that's less than that, right? So it's an overpriced asset, and yet it will continue to go up. There are instances where the market can get more wrong than it currently is. I understand that. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is figure out where the market is wrong. And this has very, very little to do with whether or not the company's a good company or the company's a bad company. What you're trying to do is maximize the total return of that investment, which includes things like dividends and price appreciation. Okay? That is your job. Your job is not to pick good companies. Your job is to pick good investments. There's a massive, massive difference. And I'm telling you, people with decades of experience, more than I have, get this wrong all the time. Let's go back to this question here. Which stock did you pick? Well, the answer is there's not enough information here, okay? The key missing piece of information is what you're going to pay for it, okay? Clearly, stock ABC is inferior to stock XYZ in terms of the company, okay? But if you're going to massively overpay for this better company, it will be a bad investment. If you're going to massively underpay for this crappy company, it will be a good investment. People get simple things wrong. Now, what I'm doing is I'm creating this LinkedIn group where we talk about these things. Now, I have other things that get more and more complex, but if you can't get the most basic component of your job right, you got to start somewhere. And that's where we started today. Check out my group. I want to have these conversations. We're talking about the mistakes that we're making as an industry. I have ideas on how to fix them, but I also want to hear what you have to say. Thanks so much for listening. Happy long weekend. No Fraud Friday tomorrow with the market holiday. Goodbye.